Oh, evening peeps, evening. Welcome back to the channel. So tonight we're back with P1RC or P1 Race Communities and their Multiclass Sunday League. So it's GR3s and GR4s. That's what we've got lined up for you tonight. That's not what I meant to be doing. That's what I meant to be doing. So two 20-minute races for round 5. We are at Interlagos tonight. We've got a 10-minute qualifier. I think we're just waiting for one driver to join the lobby. Should be about 5 past I'm seeing on screen, so we'll see if they actually turn up or not. So yes, two 20-minute races here from Interlagos. 10-minute qualifier, whatever those race settings mean there for S11, S11, SO5, SO5, that sort of stuff. That's all the weather. I don't know what any of that means, but that's what we've got lined up for you tonight. Anyway, let's look at scores. So, Pro-Ams, we've got Apache leading the way with 81 points. We've got Tyre Slayer on 55 points in second. Raffo third with 39 points. Pilgrim in fourth with 33 points. Ricky J in fifth with 23 points. Dodger in sixth with 15 points. And Skippy in seventh with 10 points. That is your Pro-Am standing. So they're driving the GR4 class cars. We jump to the GR3s. These are the bigger, faster versions. So same manufacturers, so if it's Obi-Wan driving the Mercedes, let's say his GR4 compatriot will also be driving a Mercedes. But it is Obi-Wan leading the way in the pros, that's the GT3, so 72 points on board for him. Mocking Week sitting in second with 56 points, Don in third with 42 points. Rob S with 38 points for fourth. Fifth is Manny with 27 points. Marshall is sixth with 23 points. No points on the board for Dizzy. And then in terms of teams, we've got MPC leading the way with 123 points. We've got the Cunny Funts with 111 points in second. Team Miyagi in third with 82 points. Steptoe and Kun, 71 points in fourth. Contendo in fifth with 48 points. Right behind them are the Yorkshire Teabaggers with 46 points. And then Dizzy got murked with 33 points for seventh. So that is points up until tonight. Again, we are just waiting for one driver to join the lobby. Be a minute or so yet, but we'll get ourselves in. Merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. Hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you want any of those. Not many T-shirts left, but still got a big pile of stickers. So not many. I've got no larges, just mediums and smalls left in the shirts, I think. All right, let's get in. I might have one large lurking. So yes, we're waiting for a driver. I believe it's Rob. Said he'd be 10 minutes, so it should be about 5 past. Let's see. So just popping up in screen, it says lobby reset at 5 past, and we'll do an old style qualifying. So it is basically a fresh practice session, but it does give Rob the opportunity to join the session. If it's a standard qualifying session, it locks you out once the qualifying session started. He has just joined the chat, so I'm expecting him to be in the lobby any minute soon. There he is. P1 Rob S91 has joined the room. So qualifying about to get underway then. So tricky circuit Interlagos. It's got a couple of nice long straights, as you can see on your little track map on screen. It's the back third of this. The third if you like of this circuit. The very last section, very wiggly, off camber, easy to get these cars backwards, especially when you've got a little bit of worn tyres. Get ourselves in then, wait for these boys to leave the pit. Someone got a new livery on this evening. I think they have. You. Who's got that new livery on? I thought it was you. It's not. Champ. Okay. Champ in the house. He's got a night off. What's he driving? Oh, he's in the Sylvia. That's what he's driving tonight then. It's fresh to the lobby. Is Champ, so he's not too familiar with these cars. Raffo's got himself backwards in the McLaren. So outlap's just being completed then. Let's turn the nonsense on for everyone. Still got the wobbly lobbies going on. On board with Rob S. We'll stick with him. Him put a lap in, so he's onto this start finish straight now. Long start finish straight, even with this great big left hand bend in it. Opportunities for overtaking down here if you can get right behind the driver coming out of that final corner. Down towards turn one again, another tricky one running down the hill. Easy just to push yourself far too deep through there into turn two. Just got to be careful on the run out of that one. Robert's having to back off the throttle through there. Through turn three. Down this little bit of a straight. Someone's found the horn button again. Into turn four. Again, very easy to run it out to the right there. Too wide. Pick yourself up a little bit of a penalty. Champ and Manny look like they're having a race here in the Sylvias. Does look like Champ slowly finding his feet. So this part of the course here is the tricky section. Cars just wanting to spin out as you accelerate through there. Again, just got to be tentative on the throttle on the way out. Towards this final corner then for Rob S. The first of the hot laps will be coming in any second. I'm sitting on board with Rob in 8th at the minute, so a couple of drivers out in front of him. So we'll wait till there goes the GR3 Mustang firing its way past the GR4s. There you go, Rob S across the line. So let's go and have a look at some lap times then. It is currently Apache in the Porsche running up front. He had a good qualifying session last week actually. So 1.6 seconds faster than anybody else at the minute on that in that GR3 Porsche, GT3 Porsche. Pilgrim in the GT3 Mercedes. Sitting in second, he's got himself a 133.6. Ricky J in the Mustang. Got himself a 134.0 at the minute. Again, you'll see the GR4 versions of these cars as we flick through. Raffo in the GT3 McLaren, sitting in fourth, 136.8. You can tell there's a lot more aero, great big wing on the back of this thing. Only one. The GR4 McLaren, you can see slightly smaller wing, less aero on the front. Sitting there in sixth at the minute in the GT4. Rob S in the GT4 McLaren. 7th, 138.5. Mocking Weeks in the GT4 class of Porsche. He's got a 138.6 for 8th at the minute. Manny in that Sylvia at 9th, 139.0. Champ just coming up to the line, being harassed by Rob S. Currently 10th, 39.0. We'll just see what he's going to put in when he comes up to the line. Being harassed by Rob S. Rob S wants that position. Picked himself up a penalty. Champ stays 10th then. Don is in 11th. He's got a 139.7. And the Dodger in 12th. So he's a 142.5 in the GT3 Porsche. So Raffo closed the gap, Tyre Slayer closed the gap. Apache still leading, but only now by half a second. Raffo moves up to 2nd then. Tyre Slayer slots into 3rd position. Pilgrim gets pushed down into 4th. J 5th in the Mustang. Let me drink the last glugs of my probably cold coffee. Oh, I've already done it, damn it. Oh, J. So he's lost the tail end of that Mustang, but he's managed to hold on to it. 6 minutes into quali then, 4 minutes remaining. Well, now he's thrown it away. Dodger up to 6th then. 136.7. The last of the GT3s. One man, the next man on track in the GT4. He's messed up that last lap. He's still on that 137.7. Rob S. 2nd in the GT4s. A little bit of a penalty to lose. Whether he's going to continue in qualifying or happy with that position, I don't know. Mocking Weeks comes in the pits. He wants a fresh set of tyres on for this qualifying session. Try and better that lap time. Manny is still 11th. 12th. Don under all sorts of pressure here from a couple of drivers. Raffo and Champ looking to get their way past. Raffo making it easy in the GT3. Still out front then Apache. Purple sector as well. Oof, almost half a second purple sector. He managed to extend that lead up the front for pole position. He's got 0.5 at the minute. Let's see what he's got when he comes up to the line. He's quick up by 0.4 of a second, so he's got 0.9, almost a full second ahead of Raffo now. Seems quite happy with that one. Pulls himself over next to Rob S. To everybody else then, can they beat the Porsche up front? Down at the minute for Raffo. He's got another attempt, just about. Oof, wheels on the grass, got to be careful. Tyre Slayer as well, still got a lap or two left to put in. Mr. Bowman, evening, how you doing? Is it Manny that's found the horn? It's got to be Manny, someone's got the horn on. It's not Manny. So just over a minute left of qualifying. 1 minute 15 seconds to be precise. It is still this man on pole, Apache, with a full almost second above Raffo at the minute. 131.4 for him. Raffo still pushing though. He's had to take a couple of stabs at that corner. That might affect his lap time. Pilgrim's also in the pits this lap. Is he looking to make a late? Oh no, he's not going to make it round and stick another lap in, that's for sure. Raffo then down towards this timing line. Let's see what he's got. Up on his personal best, but nowhere near quick enough for pole sitting lap at the minute. He's Is he going to get the opportunity for another lap? He's got about 10 seconds left to get to the line. Don't think he's going to make it. I don't even know, that might have been on the bang on the 10-minute mark. It wasn't quick enough at that time, so it's a little bit quicker, but it's not quick enough to take that pole sitting lap. Apache still 3/4 of a second up then. Pressing hard on this final chance lap now then for Raffo. Tyre Slayer's done, he's settled for 3rd position. Pilgrim's also settled for 4th. Ricky J 5th. Dodger 6th. Obi-Wan 7th, first of the GT3s, GT4s, Mocky Weeks in 8th, GT4 as well. Rob S in 9th, Champ in 10th, Manny in 11th, and Don in 12th. And we just still wait for this man. A couple of corners left. Let's see what sort of time he sets when he hits that timing line. Tyres aren't looking the best for Raffo. He's made up another 1/4 of a second, but again it's not going to be enough for that pole sitting lap. Brings himself closer to Apache, but it's not going to help out. Still be just as far back when they are on the grid. Don't think he's going to make up half a second along this straight. That wall as tight as he can. He crosses the line, he does make up that 1/4 of a second, brings it down to about half a second. Has to settle for 2nd, so it is Apache then on pole. Official results: Apache 1st, then Raffo 2nd, Tyre Slayer 3rd, Pilgrim 4th, Ricky J 5th, Dodger 6th, Obi-Wan 7th, Mocking Weeks in 8th. Got Rob S in 9th, Champ in 10th, Manny in 11th, and Don in 12th. Can the Porsche get a good run off the line? Can he make it down towards turn 1 and get himself in front is the question. One minute till race 1 start then. See how Champ gets on in his first race of the season. Sitting in 10th in the sitting in 10th in the whole grid. He's 4th in the GT4s. Again, probably no practice in this car. Random messages popping up in the lobby chat. Right, here we go then. Let's wait till we see the binos and we can get ourselves in. Come on, come on. There it is. Here we go then, race 1 here at Interlagos. Some flashing of the lights. We'll wait for these red lights to go on and then go out, and we'll get round 5 underway. They're on now then. The revs go up, the drivers get ready to peel away. It's not a great start from... who's that? S, I think, falling back in that. Oh no, sorry, it's not Rob S. Ooh, Apache goes a little bit deep into turn 1, but he does hold on to the lead. Tyre Slayer is trying to push his way past Raffo for that second. Pilgrim's also looking for a way through as well. They're almost going to be 3 wide down here. Raffo's just managed to squeeze his way in front. Pilgrim's got the inside line on Tyre Slayer, so Pilgrim makes a position up into 3rd then. Oof, Raffo's gone deep. He's tried to get back on track, but Pilgrim's got through. Tyre Slayer pressuring him for that position. Tyre Slayer will have the inside line. Sorry, Raffo will have the inside line into this corner. Takes that one back. Tyre Slayer gets pushed back down to 4th then. Pilgrim up into 2nd. Ricky J in 5th in the Mustang. Mocking Weeks 6th. First off the GT4's got himself ahead of Obi-Wan off the line then. Champ into 8th. Rob S in 9th. Manny 10th. Dodger in 11th in the GT3 Porsche. It was Dodger that had the poor start. He's under threat from Don in the Porsche behind in the GT4 Porsche as well. Back up front, Apache then starts to pull away already. 1.1 second lead, that little battle behind for 2nd position. Giving him a little bit of room. 1 second lead at the minute over Pilgrim. Raffo well within slipstream range of Pilgrim. Tyre Slayer not in that slipstream range, but Ricky J is flashing other lights. Ricky J up the inside, up into 4th then. Oh, he's gone a little bit deep. Tyre Slayer comes back through to take that position. It's a brave move by Ricky, just allowed himself to go a little bit too deep on the brakes. Now he's got to do it all again. Mocking Weeks then up the front of this GT4 battle. Obi-Wan looking for a way past, he uses the pit exit lane. Got himself up the inside edge of Mocking Weeks. Through he goes. Can Mocking cut one back up the inside here? Oh, not quite. Obi-Wan might still have the advantage coming into turn 5 here. I think he has just kept himself up front. Mocking Weeks looking to run around the outside in the Porsche though. It's not going to work out for him, I don't think. Oh, he slots back up, goes for the switcheroo up the inside. Careful he doesn't lose this position to Champ. Finding those tighter lines at the minute, Champ in the Nissan. Rob in 9th then. Manny not too far off the back of him, just 0.6 of a second. There is Dodger in that GT3 Porsche trying to close the gap. And Don in the GT4 Porsche in 12, 2.3 seconds down now. This man stomping it away up front now. 1.6 second leads the Porsche has got over the Mercedes. Still kicking off for 3rd here. Tyre Slayer having a look at the inside on Raffo. To control it under the brakes though. Raffo holds on to 3rd. Tyre Slayer 4th. J still just hanging on to the back end of this fight, 1.8 seconds back. Obi-Wan we saw get himself past Mocking Weeks. Champ's now done the same thing. Rob S has done the same thing. Has Mocking Weeks got turn 1 all wrong? He's a long way off that front run of the GT4s now. 3 drivers past him. Dodger in that GT3 Porsche behind him. Manny been overtaken as well now. Trying to find his feet in that Porsche then Dodger and Dom losing a bit more time. Look at the lead this man's pulling already, 2.2 seconds, corner after corner. Pilgrim's back under pressure from the McLaren of Raffo. Oh, Raffo. Had himself backwards around there. That's dropped him off the tail of Pilgrim for a second. Brought him under a bit more danger than Tyre Slayer behind. Tyre Slayer then unable to use that slipstream to his advantage. Raffo's got a little bit of a toe off of Pilgrim in front. Has brought these 3 right back together, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Needs to definitely keep himself in that toe. Nobody able to make a move on Pilgrim yet. And I think Apache is just stretching his lead up front. 2.7, nearly 2.8 second lead. Quarter of the way through race 1 then, 5 minutes in. planted here then, the Porsche. Pilgrim under serious threat. Raffo up the inside, takes that second off him. Pilgrim looking to come back, but he's going to have to run around the outside on this corner. Still side by side into this final corner. Tiny bit of rubbing through there. Who's going to get the better run? Pilgrim, a bit of bump drafting here, just pushing Raffo down the track, hopefully nudge him forward a bit, use a bit of his slipstream to drag you down the track as well, but ultimately you're just looking to close up on Apache in front. So not going for the move then, Pilgrim. Gets a little wobble on through there. Oh, Raffo's got a wobble on as well. Back end of that McLaren. Again, Pilgrim ducks himself right behind the McLaren, pushing him down that circuit, trying to close that gap up to the Porsche in front. Now looks to slot one up the inside through turn 4. And does do. Tyre Slayer right involved in this fight again, now looking for a way pass around the outside, back up the inside on Raffo. Didn't work out, wasn't able to lull him into a false sense of security, but Raffo goes a little bit deep. Has to go defensive through there. You can see these GT3s, they get the power down a little bit early, the rear end just wants to step out on them. Bumper to bumper action here, but it's all helping out. Apache's now 4.6 seconds up the road from this fight. Right, are we going to see overtakes here onto this long straight now? Bit of gap between Pilgrim and Raffo. Raffo's got to do some work to catch up with him if they're going to try and use that bump draft. All of them keeping as tightly in a line as possible. Raffo then closes up on Pilgrim now, decides he's going to have a little look up the inside. Not quite close enough. Pilgrim shuts the door. A little wobble on there. Tyre Slayer still lurking in the background, but again, all this is just gone too far. It's just helping out. Oh, Raffo had a little look up the inside, backed off. But look at this, Apache now 5.5 seconds up the road. He's been under no threat from pretty much word go. Managed to get himself about a second off lap 1. Has just continued to pull away. These three, on the other hand, have all swapped places. Continue to do so. Battling well here, the GT3s for second position. Ricky J falling off his fight now. He's sitting in 5th, 4.4 seconds behind. Obi-Wan, the first of the GT4s, under threat from that final GT3 car of the Dodger. Dodger goes through then. To 6th, he's now 22 seconds behind Ricky J. So the GT4s, Obi-Wan leads then, you can see tucked right behind Dodger in that GT3. Rob S another 3 seconds back in the McLaren, sitting in 8th position. Mockin Wheats another 3 seconds back in the Porsche in 9th. Manny in 10th, just 0.8 of a second behind Mockin. Champ another second behind him, just losing a bit of time through there, 1.2 seconds. Dom slowly bringing himself back into the fight, 2.2 seconds behind now. Still finding time up front, 6.6 seconds. More purple sectors here from Apache. Look at this, still battling for second. It is going to be Raffo that wins out this time. Pilgrim not leaving the door open long enough for Tyre Slayer to have a look through there as well, but all three of these bumper to bumper up here. Let's get a bit of chase car cam. Oh, Pilgrim slings one up the inside of Raffo. Left the door just open wide enough, did Raffo. Wobble there for Pilgrim has allowed Raffo to go through. It's getting a bit bumpy through here. Tyre Slayer with a great line through there. These two going defensive, so slowly working out in his favour. If he can get the tighter lines, get himself up the inside. Got to be careful he doesn't take out or somebody doesn't take out somebody else. And now Tyre Slayer with a good run on Pilgrim. Gets the run. He's still in slipstream range of Raffo as well, closing up on him. Won't be able to make a move before turn 1, but will definitely close the gap. Almost able to get back up the inside. Tiny bit of contact between those two. Oh, that door just left slightly open by Tyre Slayer has allowed Pilgrim back up the inside, but it is going to be a three-way run here again to this corner. Whoa, Raffo hard on the brakes, Tyre Slayer hard on the brakes. Excellent move straight through into second position for Tyre Slayer. He's now got to go defensive from these two attacking him. Can he now stretch a gap over these two? Let these two battle it out. It's going to be hard push to drop them though, I think. Raffo had a little look up the inside there. Wobbles on from Tyre Slayer as he left that door open. Almost. Raffo nearly able to get his nose up the inside. Pilgrim as well, finding any kind of hole he can to get himself past Raffo. Raffo just leaving a little bit of space on some of these corners. Oof, tiny bit of a love tap between Raffo and Pilgrim. Nearly sent Pilgrim. That has now broken the gap between Pilgrim and Tyre Slayer in second. Now it's Raffo's job as pushman to try and push Pilgrim back towards Tyre Slayer. 1.3 seconds the gap between second and third. Tyre Slayer 9.7 behind race leader Apache. Here he is. Absolutely nobody out on track near him. Almost 10 seconds lead here. Oh, Tyre Slayer! We just catch Tyre Slayer. He just got himself a bit of a gap and he's spun it round on the back end of turn 4. Ricky J! Oh my gosh! It's all going wrong for Tyre Slayer. Nearly took Ricky J out. He's going to have a little bit of front end damage though. He has. Tyre Slayer got front end damage and rear end damage though, but he was looking good. He just managed to pull himself a little bit of a gap out front of Raffo and Pilgrim. Their little battle was helping him out just a little bit, but he stuck it backwards in turn 4. Fortunately, getting himself back on track, he's collected Ricky J as well. Ricky J's managed to get through, but both drivers picking up damage due to the incident, unfortunately. Dodger then. Last of the GT3s, 15 seconds behind Tyre Slayer. Tyre's still looking pretty good though. Obi-Wan up front in the GT4s. 3.3 seconds ahead of Rob S in the other McLaren. Rocking Weeks just 1.8 seconds behind him in the Porsche. Champ up to 10th, got himself past the other Nissan Silvia. Manny 11th. Don himself 3.9 seconds back, so he started to close that gap back up, but started to fall back away again. What? Oh, that'll be why, because Tyre Slayer's dropped him out of the race, and Raffo and Pilgrim have been having a punch-up. Oh, they've been having a proper punch-up. Pilgrim's got himself a penalty. Raffo's stretched out a lead then, but they've all dropped time to this man. 13.2 seconds now out front. Just 7 minutes remaining of race 1. Sorry, 5 minutes remaining. What am I talking about? Raffo then, bit of clear track behind him. 2.7 seconds to Pilgrim. Not sure what happened to Pilgrim. He's grabbed a half a second penalty that he's got to lose as he comes around this next corner. Right on the start of this long straight. That's a disgusting place to put the penalty zone. So you'll see those two yellow markers he's coming up to. Bam! Brakes go on, loses his penalty, and then he can get back on the throttle, but drops even further back from Raffo. Ricky J, no direct threat at the minute, 6 seconds behind him. That gap will come down as well with Pilgrim losing that penalty. Tyre Slayer, a long way down now, 16 seconds. Oh, I think he's got it wrong somewhere else. Picked up another bit of front end damage as Tyre Slayer. He's fallen even further back from Ricky J, so he's got it wrong somewhere else, Tyre Slayer. Dodger in the Porsche, 4.6 seconds behind him. Can Dodger make up a place before the end of this race? Obi-Wan leading the GT4s then, way out front now, 4 seconds over Rob. Weeks still looking to close that gap, just a second behind Rob S. Still kicking off for 10th and 11th as well. Got the two Sylvias, Champ and Manny, battling it out for these positions. Don unfortunately falling a little bit further back, 4.4 seconds down in the Porsche. Look at this. Another second gain, 14.3 seconds up the road for Apache. 3 minutes remaining. He's also holding fastest lap as well, 1:31.8. The GT3s then, well and truly split up now. J falling a little bit further back from Pilgrim, so I think that fight's over and done with for the end of this race. Tyre Slayer 16 seconds down, again just having a couple of mistakes. Tyre Slayer, a Dodger 6.9 seconds behind Tyre Slayer, but again I just don't think Dodger's got the pace to hold on to Tyre Slayer. Might just have to settle for 6th tonight. Obi stomping it out front then, 4.6 seconds in the GT4s. Into turn 1, here comes Rob S. Closed down a little bit by Mocking Weeks, he's taken a 10th out of that time. Gets it down to about 3/4 of a second actually, he'll pull himself a little bit closer to Rob S down here. S actually getting a good drive out of there, actually pulling away from Mocking Weeks a tiny little bit, stretches that gap up to, oh, Rob S gets a wobble on out of turn 4. That brings Mocking Weeks, he's grabbed himself a penalty as well, so he'll have to lose that. Mocking Weeks already looking to run around the outside of him in turn 5. No damage on board, I don't think, for Rob's, no, so he's not hit the wall, he's just gone all 4 wheels off the circuit, but that has brought danger upon himself. That little mistake has already brought Mocking Weeks under his rear wing, and he's got to lose that ½ a second penalty as well. How far back is Champ? 3.1 seconds. It could actually put him under pressure from those drivers behind as well. So round this bend then, this is where Rob S will have to lose that penalty. Towards these 2 yellow markers again. You should see Mocking Weeks come past quite easily. Maybe not as easy. Goes round the outside, back into 8th position then. Rob slots himself as quickly as he can into the slipstream. 0.4 of a second between them now. Champ did close that gap up, dragging Manny with him. And we are done. We're on to over the 20 minutes. Apache then up towards the line, taking the win comfortably for the GT3, 16.5 seconds up the road from Raffo. Raffo then round this final corner. Real good battle for second between himself, Pilgrim and Tyre Slayer. Raffo coming out on top though. Pilgrim takes a comfortable 3rd. Not sure what happened to him, but he ended up off track or something, picked himself up a penalty. Ricky J is going to come home in 4th position, he'll be happy with that. Tyre Slayer that terrible last half of the race. Takes 5th, one way down as well. Dodger up towards the line then, the last of the GT3s. 6th position for him. Obi-Wan then into this final corner. First of the GT4s. Pulls even more time up front, 7.1 seconds over Mocking Weeks. Four wheels over the line there, Obi. You don't want to be picking yourself up a penalty on the last lap. 7th place then for Obi, but first in the GT4s. Mocking Weeks under threat up towards the line. Rob S. Oh, looking for a move, but it is Mocking Weeks that holds on to 2nd in the GT4s. Rob S takes 5th in the GT4s. Manny takes 6th. Champ takes 7th. And Don has already crossed the line for 8th. There was race 1 then. Done and dusted. Oh, what are you doing? That's not what you meant to do. That's what you meant. No, no. Stop it. Stop it. That's what I was meant to do. Clown. So, Apache with that very, very comfortable win in race 1. Nearly 15-second lead over Raffo. Raffo coming in 2nd. Pilgrim 3rd, then Ricky J in 4th. Tyre Slayer 5th. He won't be happy with that race. Dodger in 6th. Obi-Wan 7th. Mocking Weeks in 8th. Rob S in 9th, Manny 10th, Champ in 11th, and Don in 12th. Yeah, Tyre Slayer. Ooh, just managed to pull himself a little bit of a lead. Got himself out of the battle of 2nd between himself, Raffo, and Pilgrim. Just managed to pull himself enough room to break their slipstream. Let Raffo and Pilgrim battle it out behind him. He can stretch away. Possibly not close up on Apache, because Apache just had all sorts of pace. But yeah, he was out front, Tyre Slayer, and then just decided to get a little bit throttle happy coming out of turn 4 and spun that Nissan round, unfortunately. Ended in 5th, almost taking Ricky J out in the process. Eight minutes of waffle time then. Yeah, some great racing for 2nd position. Tyre Slayer, Raffo and Pilgrim. Bit bumpy, but I don't think you can expect much, to be honest, trying to get 3 wide down towards turn 4 and things like that. There's only so much space on track, and I don't know, 3 GT3 cars can make a pretty wide chunk of metal heading down there, so it can be difficult to get them all 3 down there, but a little bit of door banging has to be expected. But nobody being sent into oblivion. Well, nobody that I saw getting sent into oblivion anyway. So we have a reverse grid for race 2. The GT3s will still be at the front, but it'll be a reverse grid. And the GT4s obviously sat at the back, but again, a reverse grid. I think it's pretty much same settings as well. Weather might be a little bit different. Might be. Don't forget to hit that like button, people. Do the subscribey bits and all that sort of stuff. Share it out. Let's hope we get some good door-to-door racing in race 2 as well. Reverse grids always make it a little bit more punchy. Get the faster drivers from race 1, obviously looking to get their way up and through the slower drivers in their field early on, but doesn't always work out in their favour. Got the tides today, people. A lot of walking. So a couple of minutes left before race 2. Someone's going backwards. That's Ricky J, look. He's trying to get his drift on. That's the one, Ricky J. Now second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth. So he's still only in first, doing like 25 miles an hour. You never blow a set of tyres out like that. You've got to get it all the way up to sixth. Get those tyres spinning. So the car thinks it's doing like 200 miles an hour. It's just going around in circles. So you will see this in any kind of break we get in between races, just drivers being maniacs. In a minute, what you'll see is just somebody come firing into screen and take Ricky J out. Because that's what they do. He's trying to get the J turn on now, look. Working too well. As soon as coming down the start finish straight, they'll see him. Might try and pin him. Oh no, it's Don, went past, didn't go for the attack. Still determined to break those tyres then, Ricky J. Like I say, you've got to get all the way up into 6th gear. Just have it doing donuts on the spot. Bottom end of turn 4 is the place to do it, really. So you're only about an eighth of the way through those. You've got to make them think they're doing faster. Second, boom. Now third, boom. That's what you should be doing. Everybody else doing donuts? What's happening here? P1 crew? No, I was just about to say the P1 crew being sensible, but then Manny comes in and sends himself straight into Pilgrim. Pilgrim's probably gone to line himself up so he can have a... No, I thought you might have had a send at Manny. They're all at it. They're all at it, look. He's down there. Champ's parked up and he's looking for a target. Dom's coming through like a maniac. Rob S goes, screw you, Manny. Send you to the wall. Manny pins him. Just cars in all directions, look. Marking Weeks just pulling out the pits. That can only mean one thing. We're about to get race 2 underway. It's like bumper cars at the at the fair. Right, here we go then. Race 2 just about to get underway. Dodger will lead us down towards turn 1. Let's see if he gets a good start. Tyre Slayer might be able to slot one up the inside at turn 1. Let's see. The lights go red. They drop now. Oh, Tyre Slayer's got it in reverse, the Maniac. And he's caused chaos. There's been a concertina effect, and Champ's been caught up with that. And Raffo's taken out Dodger. Dodger's getting himself pointing straight. Raffo's slowed down. He's going to have to wait for Dodger to get back up to speed and past him. All gone wrong for Dodger then. Was leading. Was first into turn 1 and now is 12th after turn 1. Ricky J leads the way then. He's managed to get his way through into first position. Tyre Slayer. Right behind him, Apache as well. Managed to get all the way from the back of the GT3s to 3rd position at the minute. We know the Porsche is strong. Pilgrim then wants to keep Apache in touch. Locking Weeks in the GT4s then in 5th. Don 6th. Manny in 7th. Rob S in 8th. But a penalty. Champ, who ended up backwards, sideways and all the way to the back of the field, is now up into 9th. Obi-Wan 10th. Raffo in 11th. Dodger still trying to close up that gap. Managed to change view. Tyre Slayer's got himself up front then. Apache's got himself past Ricky J as well. So Nissan leads, Porsche 2nd, Mustang 3rd, Mercedes 4th. Now what can Nissan do? Now it's up front. Apache looking to close down as they come into turn 1. Drops to about half a second there. Stretches back open. Still getting a bit of a toe down here for Apache. Not a lot. Can Tyre Slayer make the Nissan work? Now he's out front. Starting to pull a little bit of a gap over Apache, 0.9 of a second. Can he maintain it is the question. Ricky J then in 3rd, looking good at the minute. Pilgrim in 4th, closing that gap. Weeks in 5th, Don 6th, Manny in 7th, Champ in 8th, Raffo in 9th, Obi-Wan 10th, Rob S in 11th, Dodger then gets himself onto the back end of the pack again. He's got to work his way through these GT4s as Raffo goes all sorts of directions to try and get past these GT4s. To 7th at the minute. Still got a couple of GT4s left to pass for the GT3 of Raffo. Don and Mocking Weeks in front of him. Oh, Pilgrim's made a mistake around this final corner, running really slow on this start-finish straight. Raffo's going to get himself past. He's got to be careful the GT4s don't make a move on him here. Power steps back in though on the Mercedes, pulls himself away from Mocking Weeks. Mocking Weeks has got to remember he's not able to brake at the same points. The GT4 still bolted pretty close together. As the Dodger makes up a position, gets past Rob S into 11th then. Got to push his way past these GT4s quickly. Tyre Slayer still leading then, being harassed by Apache still. J 3.3 seconds down at the minute in 3rd, Raffo in 4th, 9.6 seconds down, being chased by Pilgrim. Pilgrim picked himself up a penalty though, he's got half a second there, he's got to lose 1.1 behind Raffo just then, but he pulls that down a little bit. Oof, Raffo, where are you going? Nearly 5 minutes into this one. Raffo got a lot of work to do to close up to the top 3. Pilgrim trying to hang on to it, but again, he's just got to lose that penalty. It's coming up around this next corner. penalty. That's going to make him fall off the back of Raffo. Should still keep himself away up front of Mocking Weeks. Let's see what's happening up front between Tyre Slayer and Apache. Apache not able to get the move done down the start-finish straight, but has brought that time right down to 0.3 of a second. Closes up again down towards turn 4. Still, Ricky J another 5 seconds behind this fight. No threat from third position at the minute. 0.6 of a second. Tyre Slayer, is he just trying to stretch that gap out before they hit the start finish straight? Still at 0.5, needs a good exit through here. Is getting a good exit, gap down to 0.5 of a second. Starts to drop now then. Not as quick as he'd like, just gets it to the 0.5 mark as they hit turn 1. Maybe Tyre Slayer's Nissan's a little bit quicker through the S's than Apache's car in the latter half of the course. Porsche seems to have the legs on the Nissan top end. The Nissan at the minute seems a little bit quicker through the corners, just keeping himself in front of Apache. Again, Ricky J a long way down, 6 seconds behind these two now. 7 seconds ahead of Raffo still. Now 2.2 seconds back in 5th. Dodger gets past the GT4s then into 6th, 10.3 seconds behind Pilgrim. He's got his teammate in the GT4 right behind him in 7th. He's got 1.6 seconds between himself and the nearest GT4, which is Champ in the green Sylvia. Still pretty close together. Obi-Wan 9th then, Don in 10th, Manny in 11th, Rob S in 12th. Manny having a look at the inside of Don through there. Can Don keep his nose up the inside into this next corner? Yes, he can just. Manny still going to have the advantage through this next one though. Himself back into that 10th position. Don has got to try again, getting a good toe up this straight though. Rob S just going on a move as well, side by side with Don as they run up here. Slipstream, but Manny almost runs it wide through there. Don just keeping himself in touch in 12th position. Not out of this fight yet. Starts to close up, then using that slipstream down here. Takes himself to the other side of the circuit, maybe a little bit too early. Great bit of advertising on the wing there for my channel. That is who you are watching. Manny's got it wrong, he's been into the wall, he now puts himself at the back of the pack. Front end damage, he's got to get himself back up to pace as well. Tyre Slayer and Apache still at it for first and second here. A bit closer this time for Apache, 0.3 of a second. Still not close enough before turn 1. Battle between these two. Slightly better tyre wear on Apache's Porsche than there is on the Nissan. Down towards turn 4 then. Again, not able to close up enough to make a move. Still just got that 0.3 of a second gap. Tyre Slayer goes a bit deep through there. Apache closes back up, brings that down to 1/4 of a second. Tyre Slayer goes a little bit defensive on the run up to turn 5. Nowhere for Apache to go just yet. Mr. Marge! Evening, brother. He's got the beers out. Good lad. Apache piling the pressure on Tyre Slayer here, but still not enough yet. Gap stretches back up to 0.7 of a second. Apache won't be happy with that at all. It was down to 0.3. It's now Tyre Slayer with fastest lap in this race, 1:32.0. We saw Apache hit the 1:31s in race 1. Oh, a little wobble there for Tyre Slayer. Again, that 0.6 of a second gap might just be enough to keep him up front into turn 1. Porsche closes up again, not enough, just gets to that 0.6 of a second. Go and see what else is happening. Ricky J then 8.7 seconds back in 3rd. He's still got about 4 seconds ahead of Raffo for 4th. We've got about 8.5 minutes left. Raffo pushing hard though. Might be able to close this gap up on Ricky J. He is bringing it down. It's down to 3 seconds already. Pilgrim pushing though, but he's 14 seconds behind Raffo. I think he's picked up a few penalties here and there. Been backwards once or twice. Dodger closing up on him, 4.2 seconds the gap between 5th and 6th. Walking Weeks out front on the GT4s then. Still got himself 1.6 seconds ahead of Obi. Obi pressing hard in race 1, pressing hard in race 2 as well, trying to close that gap up on Mocking Weeks. Champ penalty to lose. He's just a second behind Obi. Change though when he drops that penalty. Rob S might be able to take that position off him. He's only 1.1 seconds behind him at the minute. Don then 1.7 seconds behind again in 11th. Manny's managed to close that gap back up even after going backwards. He's now just 0.5 of a second behind Don. GT4 still pretty much bumper to bumper then. Not a lot in it between them. Tyre Slayer and Apache still going at it for top spot. Gap down to 0.3 of a second again. Another lap, another try for Apache. Closes up into turn 4. Gap still at 0.5 of a second though. Nissan holding its own up against the Porsche at the minute. Different lines through there. Whoa, Apache all over the shop through there. Doesn't, oh, I was going to say, he doesn't pick up a penalty for it, but he does. It's a whole second as well. That's going to be a kick in the teeth for Apache. Almost gift the race to Tyre Slayer. Watch how much Apache slows down when he hits this penalty zone. How far off the back end he falls. 0.3 of a second off the back of Tyre Slayer right now. Whoa, not even that. 0.2 as he comes up to this penalty zone, but just watch him fall away when he drops that penalty. Oh, Apache. What a shame. Tyre Slayer able to keep the throttle on. Keeps it planted, stretches that gap all the way up to about 2.5 seconds by the time they hit turn 1. Just under 2.3. So it's going to take an absolute maniac last 6 minutes here from Apache to close that gap back down. 2.2 the gap at the minute, 13 seconds gap behind into Ricky J. He's slowly falling into the clutches of Raffo though, just 1.9 seconds behind, a little bit longer now. Raffo, 2.6 seconds. Gives Ricky J a little bit of breathing room. 6 minutes he's got to try and hold on. Pilgrim then in 5th, getting closed up by Dodger, just 1.6 seconds behind him in the Porsche. He's got somebody to attack now. Dodger. Marky Weeks then leader of the GT4s, but for how much longer? Obi-Wan right behind him, 0.8 of a second. Got a battle kicking off behind as well. Rob S and Champ battling it out for 9th. A little bit closer, but they've fallen apart a little bit now. Manny and Don battling it out for 11th and 12th as well. Still kicking off here then in the GT4s. So, Tyre Slayer did have a 2.2, 2.3 second gap, but that has fallen to 1.7, 1.6. Apache is really pushing here. He's got to be careful he doesn't overcook it with his slightly warm tyres. Still bringing that time down, 1.6 seconds. 4 minutes remaining. It's going to be a real hard push for Apache then to regain that top spot. J, 1.1 seconds lead. Raffo slowly but surely catching up with him. He's going to be within the slipstream range in a couple of corners' time. Was a good save, wasn't it, George? Right, well in the slipstream range now for Raffo. Chasing down Ricky J into turn 5. Right, looking a bit worn on Ricky J's Mustang. So Raffo might not make the move through the S's, might just hang on to the long start-finish straight. Use the slipstream to get himself past Ricky J. Oh, he almost didn't need it. Ricky J then almost off circuit as he ran into this final corner. Gives the opportunity to Raffo to get through anyway, but Ricky J coming back at him. Side by side up the start finish straight. Gets himself in front of Raffo. Mustang then got a bit of power out of the corners. Keeps himself in 3rd then Ricky J. He's going to see what the gap's like. Oh no, Apache's binned it. He's binned it. He's absolutely binned it somewhere. 10.8 seconds the gap. Tyre Slayer gifted the race now, then he can pretty much do what he wants for the next 2.5 minutes. Oh, Apache, yeah, possibly pushing a little bit too hard on those slightly worn tyres. He's come a cropper. Ricky J as well, just hanging on to this 3rd position. Let's see what's happening. Obi-Wan's managed to get himself past Mocky Week, so he now leads the GT4s. Mocky Week's pressing hard, but I don't know if he's going to be able to keep with the pace of the McLaren in front. Rob S has also made his way up into 9th position. Champ's made a mistake. He's in 10th, a long way down from Rob S. Don has got himself past Manny as well. Not too far off the back of Champ, and dragging Manny with him. Pressing hard then in the GT4s. Tyre Slayer 10.3 seconds as he crosses the line. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Apache then just comes around this corner. He now crosses the line. He'll be absolutely kicking himself. He was closing that gap back down on Tyre Slayer, but just pushed a little bit too hard, I think. Ricky J again. Hangs on to this 3rd. 1 lap to go, Ricky J. Don't bin it now. Take that 3rd. McLaren all over the back of him as they exit turn 3. He goes for a little move up the inside. He's God, no he's not. Ricky J went a little bit defensive, just closed the door enough on Raffo to block him off. Gets the power down early as well through there. The McLaren not able to close up. Let's just keep an eye on the front runners here as well. 20 seconds left on the race timer. So it is going to be Tyre Slayer to cross the line. Everybody else should just about get there. Still, Ricky J holding his own though. I want to stay right here with this fight. Sorry, Tyre Slayer and Apache. Ooh, Raffo! Nearly round the outside of Ricky J. Ricky J wasn't having any of that though. Not on these last couple of corners. Now towards this final corner then. What? As they're both side by side. Oh, Raffo's managed to get the power down a lot earlier. Slots his way through. It is Tyre Slayer that takes the win. It is Apache that takes second. It is going to be Raffo that takes third position. Unfortunately for Ricky J. Ricky J taking fourth, but well driven Ricky J. Pilgrim. Almost a little bit wide through that final corner. It's going to come home for fifth position. Dodger might have made a mistake as well. He was only a second or two behind Pilgrim. He's now 14 and a half. A wobble and a wibble into the pit wall for Pilgrim. Here comes Dodger. The last of the GT3s then coming up to the line to take sixth. Better race this week, I think, Dodger. Then we jump to the GT4s. It is Obi-Wan that holds that lead then from Mocking Weeks. Mocking Weeks did try and close him back up at the end, but 1.3 seconds as they come up towards the line. It is Obi-Wan that takes it backwards. Mocking Weeks takes it backwards for second in the GT4s. Rob S comes home third in the GT4s. Fourth for Champ Champ. Fifth for Manny. Oh, what happened there? And sixth for Don. There we go. Race 2 done and dusted. The mellow yellow of Tyre Slayer. Bosh. There it was then. And let's just have a look at official results then. Tyre Slayer comfortably taking that win. Apache kicking himself for dropping it in the last couple of laps. Raffo came home third, just managed to beat Ricky J out of that final corner for that third position. Ricky J takes fourth. Pilgrim takes fifth, Dodger takes sixth, Obi-Wan comes home first in the GT4 class, so seventh position overall. Mocking Weeks takes second in the GT4s, so eighth overall. Third for Rob S, ninth overall. Fourth for Champ Champ in the GT4s, 10th overall. Champ Champ came home fifth in the GT4s, Don in sixth in the GT4s, 11th and 12th respectively overall. There we go. Round 5 done and dusted. So I am back on Wednesday night at 8:30. We're doing the rerun of, where were we? Laguna Seca. That the servers crashed on us on Wednesday. Everyone got booted out. So we're going to have a rerun of that on Wednesday at 8:30. So come and check that out. And then we have a week's break, just to give people time off and stuff like that. And then we come back in 2 weeks' time after next week. And then back again, same time, same place on Friday, GTCCC 9 o'clock. And then Sunday night, 9 o'clock again for round 6 of the P1 Sunday Multiclass League. Some great racing in that one again tonight. Some unfortunate results in the end. Not for the guys who won, obviously, but for some of the others, pushing hard, but just making those little mistakes at the end. But yes, that's going to be it from me. I hope you've liked what you've watched. You know the score, people. You know what you've got to do. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. But most of all, tell your mates, tell your mums. See you later. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.